Alright fellas, here we're back in another Pokemon Masters video where I'm going to pretend like I know anything about what I'm talking about. But yeah, Arc Suit Alder. He will be releasing tomorrow, technically within a few hours as of uploading this because I'm uploading it really late, but it's okay, that's fine. Alder. Okay. I'll be honest, I think people are getting a little confused on this guy being good and being boring. Because I'll be honest, he's pretty boring, but he's really fucking good. Yeah, well, let's go into it, why don't we, right? Okay, so let's look at Alder's base kit. 1 out of 5 grid, not really much besides Dauntless and some stats, cool. But looking at the stats, level 150, 6-star EX without the EX roll unlocked. He's got 839 HP, 236 defense, 242 special defense, 394 in both offenses, 441 speed, good speed, decent offenses, good HP, decent enough bulk, right, for a character that's probably not going to be too bulky. He does have potions though, so that's pretty good. I mean, having the good HP is nice. Sprint roll does of course add more HP, speed, and offenses, so he does go over 400 there, so that is nice. His 414 special attack is definitely nothing crazy anymore. I mean, look at a character released this month. This Elisa here without Super Awakening or anything has over 600, over 660 there whenever she does have Super Awakening. So we can definitely get to like far better offensive power, but this guy's got a lot to make up for it, all right? He's got Hyper Beam. We know how this works. Hyper Beam is a strong move, 223 minimum base power, 4 gauges, stuff like that. It's good. It's a great move. Potions. This guy's literally just got him to just have them. These don't really provide him much use fundamentally, I would say. Just that, like, it's great to have for a lot of different game modes. Potions are good. It's a good tile for damage challenges to have some free slots in order to not, like, to have a move that fails. You know how the sync countdown stuff works there. It's great for the legendary, and it's like actually just fantastic for legendary. And this is going to make his prowess in that go up a lot. I really think he's going to get a lot of solos that way. I mean, ultimate battles, the farther a battle gets, the more you start dying, the more you can potentially, use these potions. Obviously, that takes away from his damage, but, it's an option. Yeah, point is, potions are going to be good, even if it's on a character like Alder who doesn't really need them that much. Yeah, it's going to be good, right? So, that's nice. Almighty Sun Hyper Beam. Okay, this is a one-use move, 240 minimum power, targets an enemy. Well, 240 max power, I guess, technically. Deactivated whenever he uses, activated whenever he uses any move once. It can't be deactivated, so it's basically unconditional for the most part. Uses a max of 6 gauge. The attack's power is increased based on the amount of gauge used. It turns the field of play into a bug zone. Okay, so the thing where he turns into a bug zone, this is not that important. I don't fear, I fear, rather. It's not, like... This is good if you've got another Bug Zone setter, so he can actually have this move boosted in Bug Zone, but outside of that, not really that great of an ability, but it's decent enough to extend it. And if you've got EX Bug Zone whenever Benga releases, I don't know what is his release date? Probably middle of the month, I would say. Release the 5th of May. That's actually... Wow. Okay, that's actually pretty damn soon. We have a lot of on-release, or... on the first units to actually look at here. But anyway, whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyway, doesn't matter. As I just said. But anyway, Benga. So, Benga setting EX Bug Zone. Alder can benefit from that. He can set Bug Zone to extend the EX Bug Zone here. Whatever, right? You can see how that works. Obviously, it's good if you've got another Bug Zone setter as well. Extend their Bug Zone, blah, blah, blah. Cool. It's great. But obviously, it's the powers behind it. This is the same effect that Ash has in his buddy move, and the only difference between Alder and Ash is, I think Ash has got higher special attack, but also he's got, where is he? He's got higher base power. 480 base power on this is really, really solid, really, really strong. I'll just tell you now that Alder has other ways to make up for it in his buddy move, so let's just keep all that in mind. The similarities that, at least that, oh my god, I hate this bullshit. But the similarities between Ash and Alder's buddy moves here in terms of how they're activated and potential power that can come out of them. It's double the power, but again, Alder's got ways to make up for that. Got himself his trainer move, which reduces sync countdown by 1, raises special attack by 6, and applies super effective next to him. The super effective next is mostly just a damage challenge thing. He's going to be blitzing through any bug week content without issue anyway, so this is again just damage challenge stuff. And of course, the self-sufficiency and sync countdown is nice. He has EX roll sprint, so he does have some sync shenanigans. With his sync move effect, he does have the ability to increase his special moves next by 2. This gives him very good usage to chain that into his buddy move. You use his sync move, you get the +2 special moves next. You also get the -1 rebuff because, of course, he is an Arc Suit sync pair. And then you'll obviously have that boosted buddy move there. So that's kind of how they're, I guess, wanting you to go about it, right? Which is, it's definitely got the ability to be pretty effective for sure. Obviously, with passive skills, he's got Insect Myth and Insect Judgment, which obviously this is just raising ally rebuff, lowering enemy rebuff on entry, and Insect Myth is, you know, the master passive for bugs. The more bugs you bring, the higher the power he's going to have. He's a very good partner of Banga, and Banga is able to support him very well, so you can make some better use of that arc passive that way. Also, Bugsy, Holiday Bugsy is a very solid partner for him as well, so they can work pretty well. Hilbert and Genesect can work very well as a very good nuker and enhancer for Alder, so if you want to run them together, you can. Alder's going to be good with other bugs. Obviously, Bug is notorious for not being like an uber strong type, but Alder does, of course, have good bug partners, mostly in the form of Bugs' support, and then Banga, maybe Holiday Viola if you really want to, or Signature Hilbert as other partners for damage and enhancement purposes. So there are some good partners you can run with Alder there, right? Looking at his passive, all right, the Wandering Champion. Thankfully, Pokemon Tools really is able to condense this down into actually legible stuff. Bug Shift, expanded range basically, and guaranteed crits. That's it. That's all they needed to word it. That we would know exactly what this does that way. All his normal moves become bug moves, which is how we know that Hyper Beam and the buddy move Hyper Beam are bug, right? Doesn't need much explaining. Pokemon moves and sync moves expansion. When an ally uses move targets itself or an ally, target becomes all out sync pairs. When target's an opponent successful, target becomes all opposing sync pairs. When the sync move is successful, opponent becomes all opposing sync pairs. Power and chances of applying additional effects are not lower if there are multiple targets. Basically, your moves become AoE. That's all there is. And if he had any support moves on his like if Volcarona specifically had support moves, not the trainer moves, those would also be AoE, but that doesn't apply here. It's just damage. His Hyper Beams become AoE. His Buddy Hyper Beam becomes AoE. There's another big one up on Ash. And his Sync move becomes AoE. Very good stuff. No split damage on it. Nothing like that. That's very good. So this is a great passive, and also guaranteed crits. So he doesn't have to worry about critting, doesn't have to worry about softening up in a grid for like this sync nuking or something, anything in the damage challenge, and having consistent sync damage and stuff like that. He's gonna have guaranteed crits. That's good, right? In this effect here, been through enough. Alice's Bug Zone, Special Boost 1, and Piercing Gaze. Moves never miss. I mean, Piercing Gaze is great. There's so many enemies that love to do stupid evasion bullshit with debuffing accuracy or buffing their evasion. Latias Legendary Arena, I think the Morgan and Dana Ultimate Battles, those are just 3 bigger examples that I can think of. You know, a lot of stuff likes to debuff accuracy, so Alder does not care. And the ally sets Bug Zone Special Boost. This is good, again, if you are running him with another one of those bug enhancers. Bugsy can set Bug Zone, I believe, off of his sync move, and I think he's got does he have an on-entry tile? I don't actually know. It doesn't seem like it. How does he set Bug Zone again? Turns field to play into oh right, he's got it here. Turns field to play into Bug Zone when using his buddy move for the first time. So this, and also on the sync move effect being Field DX roll. So we got 2 instances of Bug Zone with Bugsy. Fundamentally, I guess, infinite with Viola because she's got NPR, but also she's got her field roll, and then also the 2 uses of Bug Wish here at the very least, and also Banga being able to set EX Bug Zone, and I think, I know he's got another way to do it somewhere in here. I don't remember, somewhere in this kit, somewhere. But yeah, he's able to set the Bug Zone, I believe, twice. So good stuff for he's field. There we go. That's why he sets it twice. So he's got 2 ways to set his EX Bug Zone. Again, that's all giving Alder special moves next there. So that's a lot of good power for Alder there, obviously, and that could be good to like buff his Hyper Beam damage or of course his buddy move damage. And this is just more reason to like enhance his buddy move damage even more. It's pretty insane. And then Adrenaline 3, -3 sync countdown when using a sync move on top of having the Sprint EX roll. And then you can also give him Adrenaline as a lucky skill or something like that. This guy can skip a lot of sync countdown. I really am a big fan when they actually make these like sprint type characters work extremely well with their burst and sprint, where like there's Signature Wally, who's got so much different propulsion and adrenaline and the sprint EX roll and stuff like that, that he can basically skip an entire sync cycle. Alder can do similar. Alder goes down -3. You have 2 allies that have moves selected. That is -8. You just need one more and you'll be at your next sync move literally before the enemy even has to take an action. So as long as your ally's next move, you know, as long as Alder has Adrenaline 1, or as long as your ally's next move can reduce sync countdown, or if you're like turn denying or something like that, you know, you can get your next sync move in literally right after Alder uses his first one, which is obviously really, really good. So sprint stuff works pretty well with Alder. You can say he's gonna be better with tech or whatever. Yeah, I say probably. He definitely would be better with tech, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, he's got sprint. It works well in his favor, so it's nice. But yeah, I mean, that's good. Also, what's his lucky skill? Catalytic acceleration. That's like okay, I guess. But not really. It's pretty mid. Running critical strike too. And that's just Alder's base kit. Alder in base kit looks pretty solid. He's gonna have himself multipliers. He's gonna have a good amount of special moves next, I would say, mostly consistent from the sync move. His sync damage is not going to be that great. He does not have any multipliers on his moves here outside of the special moves next. Other than that, though, I mean, it's going to be pretty solid overall. He's going to be a great way to enhance your bugs. Even one copy of him is going to be pretty good, I would say. I don't think he's like uber broken busted, but I think he's definitely really solid at 1 out of 5. Definitely a lot of good value in terms of damage out of him, I would say. But obviously, you know, dupes are going to be really, really good for him. I don't need to be one to tell you that. That's kind of how the game has been working for the past 5 years or so, 4 years, something like that, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, 1 out of 5 for Alder, not that great in terms of the grid. 2 out of 5, he's got plus special attack, you know, 20 whatever, nice. Insect acceleration 2, gauge acceleration, gauge refresh on his buddy move, gauge refresh on hyper beam, status immunity in bug zone. Again, Dallas 1 out of 5. Train move NPR for I guess some sync countdown if you do need it, and he's not debuff immune, so you can buff your special attack back and apply super effect next, stuff like that. So sure. Train move Bogo for free moves next. You know, he is pretty gauge heavy, even if he does have good speed. His gauge is pretty bad. Bug zone, all stats down immunity. Hyper beam, move gauge up 2, charging gauge by 2 when using hyper beam, and then potion NPR. This is a legitimately solid 2 out of 5 in terms of utility and tech. I mean, you know, if those potions are big for you, again, you know, good stuff for like the legendary arenas, this is an amazing thing to have for him. The gauge is also equally amazing for that game mode. You're able to actually consistently maintain gauge with him, on top of having the Bogo on the trainer move and the hyper beam gauge refresh and buddy hyper beam gauge refresh there as well. So there's a lot of good gauge management stuff this guy can provide for himself. Also on top of insect acceleration, like he's really just selling it there. The stat debuff immunity is nice here as well. Again, I did say he doesn't really have any form of that, so having something like that in Bug Zone could be useful. Again, a lot of fights really do like to have it where you get debuffed a lot, so actually having this is good in a lot of different cases. I mean, again, Morgan's a big debuffer. I think Dana... Does Dana debuff a lot? I don't actually quite remember. There's a lot of ultimate battles that debuff. I'm not willing to look into all of them, but I mean, you can figure that out. So, I mean, it's going to be helpful for quite a few stages. And just like trainer with NPR as well. I mean, this is a decent 2 out of 5. Again, it doesn't really enhance his damage too much, and you know, make his like damage enhancing properties a lot not really significantly better, but it is solid in terms of the utility. Again, if you are looking for those other game modes that don't just rely on his pure power and stuff like that, so that's good. Anyway, at 3 out of 5, he gets Rejuvenate 6. Assets Bug Zone Special Boost again. Plus 50 Sync Tile, 2 plus 25 Sync Tiles. Trainer Move Special Boost 2. First Trainer Move Sync Countdown 1. Hit Special Defense down by 2. Opponent rebuff, moves and sync moves up by 30%. Brain Power and Master Healer on Potion. Okay. I mean, yeah, the big thing with this is these bottom 3 tiles here. Brain Power... this 30% passive whenever enemies have rebuff, which is basically guaranteed outside of the fights like Argenta where they can remove it or whatever. And then also the special defense down. So this is AoE. He's able to use special defense very, very easily, very, very effectively. And it's AoE again because all his moves are AoE, right? So it's great. It's going to be enhancing his buddy move damage, his regular damage, everything. And your allies' damage if they're special attackers. Like, I mean, Hilbert. Just as an example, Viola, you know, all these good characters, right? Opponent rebuff, moves and sync moves up by 30%. 30% power buff, not just to the sync move, which does need the power. You know, that's why he's got brain power here. That's 130% multipliers. That's 130% multipliers is not that great. Under Bug Zone, EX Bug Zone is going to be pretty good for sure. But nowadays, 130% multipliers, at least outside of the EX Bug Zone, is not going to be that great. And even with EX Bug Zone, really got to consider that the nuke, if you can compare it to other characters under EX Bug Zone, is not going to be that impressive at all. But Alder's got other traits to make up for it. mostly in the form of his actual damage output. I mean, he's got special moves next buffs from this ability here and this ability here. He's got himself the trainer move special boost here. He's got himself the special moves next on using the sync move. Now he's got a 30% multiplier for his sync move and DPS moves that is going to be increasing his hyper beam damage a good bit, but also his buddy move damage. I'm very curious to see how much this buddy move will be doing with all these multipliers. And, you know, the special moves next, he can provide himself pretty easily. Special moves next support that can be provided from Benga if you do end up actually getting him. You know, there's a lot going on for Alder here that's going to be making this buddy move look really ridiculous. And then again, on top of that, his consistent actual DPS output being so effective with it being hyper beam and just being really, really strong in general. It's going to be good. He's going to have a very, very high amount of damage. So it's good stuff. Obviously, Potion Master Healer doesn't need too much explaining. You know, more gauntlet stuff if you can make the best use of it there. Because I think most other situations are going to mostly want to go for damage stuff. You're probably not going to have the tiles to pick it up. And if you don't, then you're definitely not picking this up. You would be picking up MPR more than Master Healer. Anyway, Rejuvenate 6, more gauge stuff. He doesn't really need it given the other tiles he does have for it, but it is helpful, as it can be maybe. Again, more of a gauntlet tile, maybe a damage challenge tile. I could see it being very good for that, depending on like who your setup is with him. So, I don't know, but could be. So that's whether sets Bug Zone, special boost here. I mean, again, it's another tile of this. You know, if you can make good use of it, if you've got a lot of Bug Zone setters and you know you can make good use of this ability, there it is. It can be good. It's right next to this free sync tile, so it's not too hard to pick up. Trainer move, special move, or special boost here. I don't think this is that great of a tile, honestly. Maybe it's good for the damage challenge. I mean, you just get it basically for free, but I'm going to that's kind of me being under the assumption that you're never going to use these moves until like the very end, which is going to be this move anyway. But honestly, I'm not too worried about this guy's ability to do the damage cap with this buddy move. It's just that good. At least it seems that good. I think this guy's getting a free 999,000 damage across all enemies with this buddy move. It seems to be that good. I don't know if this tile is super needed, but it could be good for enhancing that or making it get to that point. And then first, trainer move sync countdown again. Gauntlet tile, not gauntlet, damage challenge tile. If you can pick it up, it's good for that. As for like the grid build here at this level of investment, which I mean, all the other tiles are free, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, you're definitely gonna want all of these. I mean, these are big things for Alder here. The sync tiles you could probably opt to get rid of. I mean, I can't reach that one anyway. Didn't even do that well. Or obviously right there. I mean, there you go. That's very simple, very effective. If you want to do the energy, if you don't care about investing energy and you want to have actual good gauge with this guy, then get this as well. This tile's right there. And well, there you go. It's at 3 to 5. Very simple, very effective. His sync damage is maxed. His debuff utility is maxed. There we go. That's good. If you have a debuffer, you can probably get rid of this, pick up some other stuff. You know, whatever you want to get here, you can. But for the most part, for damage purposes, this is going to be good. For a Legendary Arena, obviously, grids are going to vary from stage. But, I mean, again, he's got a lot of good tech. Potion NPR, Gauge Up, Rejuvenate could be pretty solid. Maybe some other Gauge Refresh tile, but also, like, I wouldn't say Insect Acceleration. I mean, maybe, but probably not. Like stat debuff immunity, depending on what the boss you're fighting is. I mean, status immunity if you're fighting one of those stages that really let the debuff, stuff like that, that could be good, right? I mean, Alder's got very, very, very good gauntlet tiles. I mean, very simple. If a character's got potions and they can do some actual good damage, they're very, very well off. Well, let's just say that, right? Moltres might be a struggle for him, but we'll see. It could just be potion hell. Same with Lance. But Lance actually has flinch, so we'll see. Anyway, it doesn't matter. 4 to 5, he's got Bug Zone Extension 3. Again, run him with those Bug Zone setters, especially Banga with his EX Bug Zone, right? They're going to be very appreciative of that extension that he can provide. That's going to be extremely helpful, extremely valuable, mostly in that duo setup, but again, in a setup where Bugsy only is able to set Bug Zone twice. Viola can set it infinitely, but maybe you don't want to have to like grid her for that or whatever. You know, if you're running him with those characters, then you know, you can make good use of having this extension here and not have to worry too much about being able to set Bug Zone. It can allow you to space out the time you can use the buddy move for. It can allow you to space out their sets of Bug Zones so they can consistently do other things like using Struggle Bug, I guess, in the case of Viola. I guess they both technically have Struggle Bug, or the buddy move with Bugsy, or setting the circle, whatever, right? He doesn't have to focus too much on having to set Bug Zone. Granted, Bugsy doesn't really have many options in terms of setting Bug Zone, so it's not as if he's got too much control over that. Anyway, very helpful for Banga at the very least. And at 5 out of 5, the God tile. First Saint Move, Restore, Buddy Move, MP1. It's good. Yeah, I don't think I need to say it's good. I'm pretty sure I, really was happy when N got the same thing. I forget, is N's good for, let's see, never misses, great. Yeah, I mean, N's is really good. Like, it's similar to that. I really feel like it. Again, I'm not going to say that Alder's single buddy move here is going to be able to beat out Ash's, but the fact that it's AoE, has multipliers, has the ability to work off of debuffs extremely well, which granted Ash's does as well, obviously, but he needs partners for that, yada yada. Not that that's terribly difficult, but still, Alder's fully self-sufficient in that role. It's going to be strong. It's going to be a really strong buddy move nonetheless. It's going to be one of the strongest moves in the game, and then he's got two of them. And again, they're AoE. They're nuclear weapons, right? The only issue that I face with this is that this means that you have to use one of these before he's able to sync, which means you're not getting that extra rebuff power. You're probably not going to have the +2 special moves next from the sync move, stuff like that, right? So the first one's going to be pretty underpowered, but you can really play around with that second one to get it enhanced in the best way possible, and you're not really worried about that. And obviously, you're probably going to want to support EX first with your support, so that Alder can get set up, get that buddy move to get the max power he can get out of it, and then he can get to the point where he can sync, get his special moves next, get the bug rebuff, get the -13 million sync countdown he gets and all of that stuff, and then use his buddy move whenever he wants to, whenever he's got the best case for it. Like whenever he's got fully debuff special defense stats, whenever he's got like a ton of special moves next stacked up, stuff like that, the buddy move is going to look really, really good. So overall, Alder's good. He's got good partners, even despite it being bug. I mean, again, Holiday Bugsy, Banga, Holiday Viola, and Signature Hilbert, all great partners for him. Even outside of those characters, I mean, you can probably make solid use of just like a general supporting character like Champion Blue or whatever, and make Alder look really impressive in those areas. And if he's like your only good bug, hell, he's gonna prove it, because he's definitely very capable of being a one-man army in his own. But you probably do really want Bug Zone to be able to enhance him, whether that be from Banga's EX Bug Zone, which will make him look even crazier, or just regular Bug Zone from one of the prior characters. So there's options. You can definitely be pretty versatile in your setup with Alder, make it work depending on what your setup is. It's like Alder does not need specific characters or super specific characters to be really good. He's going to be really good mostly no matter what. So that's just something to consider. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Arc Suit Alder. Is he worth going for with the 1% rates and 500 scout points and stuff? I mean, you have to make that decision. I think he's really good. I think he is like top 3 Arc Suits in the game. I mean, I don't think he beats Cynthia or Steven. Definitely don't think he beats either of them, but I could definitely see him being the third best one. I could see him beating out Leon, N, or Lance in any of those roles. I could see it. I'm not gonna like be definitive about it, but I could definitely see it happening for sure, and I could definitely see the case, at least on paper, given what we can see from him here. So anyway, yeah, that's my thoughts. Let me know what you all think about him down in the comments below, and I'll see you later, and hope you all enjoyed. Peace.